Hey guys, it's me Delta1 here with God's Airsofters, and today I have a review for you of the Ecto 1 M240. Now, this is quite the gun. It is extremely big, but anyways, let's move on. The box. They really wanted to save money. I can tell you that, because it's just a cardboard box. So, let's open it up, see what it looks like. My box man will come and grab this. Thank you, Mikey. You have this really good foam on top for shipping, and it will come plastic wrap, but I've already taken it out of the box. So here's what it'll look like. It's packed fairly well, so you shouldn't really have to worry about stuff coming broken. So unfortunately, I had some stuff come broken, and I'll mention that later on in the review. So I'm going to pull all of this stuff out and put it together and tell you what it comes with. So I was going to show you with the stock on and everything, but I thought I'd mention something. There is like wires back here, and you have to slide this down, and it is extremely easy to like screw that up. So that's kind of a con, and just I thought I'd mention it. So if you have one or you're thinking about buying one, be extremely careful and make sure you don't. So I'm gonna put it on now and then move on with the review. So now I've got the stock on and it out of the box. Here's the gun. Now I just want to state this. This is honestly one of the harder reviews for me to do, and it's really hot in my garage right now because I live in Houston, Texas, and our humidity level is like 1,000,000%. So, throwing it out there. Now, the 240. Let's start with the metal and plastic components. Let's start from here is the plastic orange tip. Then you have the top cover, which has got a metal outline, and then you have the carry handle part right here, and then you have the stock, and then the little pistol grip plates right here. And pretty much everything else is either a metal or aluminum item. But there are a few things that are steel. This, and this part right here, which holds the barrel assembly and connects to the bipod. The bipod screw is indeed metal, and the carry handle is made out of steel, which is very good because that's what you want made out of a good strong metal, steel, so you can trust that. And then just screws that hold parts together are steel. So, and the magazine, there's like a metal plate in there, that's steel as well. So let's move on to what isn't steel. The body is made out of an aluminum, which helps with weight, prevents it from weighing 1,000,000 pounds, which it already does weigh 1,000,000 pounds. It weighs about 22 pounds loaded with battery and ammo. Now, this is a big gun. It is a really big gun. And it's a big machine gun. So it suits me. So now let's talk about the features. The stock. You have the sling mount right here, and then you have a sling mount right here, but on the other side of the gun. So I'm going to flip it around and show you. You can't really see, and again, this review is more based for information. I don't do fancy reviews. I'm not rich. I just like to be a most down-to-earth guy that gives the most straight information. So the sling mount right here, which is not made out of steel, and this right here isn't either. I would trust this one, but this one I would not, because the stock is it's very big disappointment because it's not very strong. I mean, there's 4 little screws that run along the sides into here, and that's how the stock's held to the metal base plate. To be honest, if you can track down a Mag 58, I believe is what they're called, wooden stock. Unfortunately, it is considered an FFL item, so you have to have it shipped to a gun dealer, and then, yeah, so, unless you can go pick it up at your local gun store, but I don't know how many gun stores on this planet have wooden Mag 58 stocks. Or a real stock converted, but a real stock is like 600 bucks, so good luck. Now, there is riveting on the stock to hold it in the shoulder. It doesn't have one of those little plates that folds out like a saw, but it does have a lip right here which prevents it falling off the shoulder. So, it's not meant to be shouldered fired either. It's meant to be, you're in a position sitting there, so, yeah. Stock attaches on, and I can't stretch this enough. The wire, if you put it on and you're not being very careful, you can break the wiring in here. I had to disconnect my wiring just to get the stock on for the review, so that's kind of lame. I don't know if there's a way to fix that, but I will be upgrading this gun and making it shoot the way I want. I will keep you posted on that, but that is a very big con. But there is a MOSFET in here, though, which is nice with a car-style fuse, so it's a lot more, how should I say this, it's a lot more durable. So they're going to last longer, and plus you got a MOSFET protecting the gun, which helps. But to be honest, most of the airsoft MOSFETs I've ever really dealt with have been kind of just not that great. So, yeah. But the stock goes on, and I highly advise you not using a sling right here. Or even, like, strapping on right there. Find some way to devise a sling. Anywho, the mag, of course, goes on right here, and it's got a little lip that it sets into, so it's not like the M60 where you have to, like, put it on through straps, so it takes like 20 minutes to reload an M60 in airsoft. So, I mean, this is a little bit better for, you just kind of open this up, but I'll get to the mag in a second. So you have the markings, it says FN M240B. You can actually call this an FN240B without them jumping out of nowhere and suing you, because FN found out how to sue people and started copying Glocks. So you can see a lot of FN products disappear, like saws are starting to go away because FN is stupid. But that's a whole nother rant. But let's move on. The safety, which is located right here. You push this, and it is on safe. Push it the other way, and it fires. It's a great thing about this is most support guns, they're either that are not a SAW or an M60. They have the motors in the pistol grip, so your pistol grip gets hot. This you won't have to worry about. However, you will have to use a MOSFET, because if you hear that's a SAW trigger switch. Those were designed for microwaves. They were never designed to handle the current that we put through them, which is stupid. But, you know, I'm not complaining. Just throw a MOSFET on it, disguised to make them go bug him about it. So, you have the sights, which is a really cool part to this gun. I'm going to be honest, this is, again, a hard gun for me to review, so it's hard to say good things about a gun that's hard to review. The sights are adjustable up to 800 meters, like so, but I doubt you'll ever be shooting an airsoft gun at 800 meters, and then they go beyond that. So, but the coolest part to me is that the sight comes all the way up like so, and you pull down right here, and there's a niche right here below it that lines up with the front sight. So it's like an old 1919 style or an M60. So that's really cool because, you know, most light machine guns aren't like that. And it's got little markings right here on the back as well, telling you how high your elevation is. There is no windage, which is kind of... I mean, for airsoft, it doesn't make any difference, but I don't know if it had... I bet you it has windage elevation and stuff in real life. So, you have 20mm rail, and then you have your top cover, which opens up, which can hold real 308 dummy belts. And you can put them like so over there. And you just gotta be careful when you put in the mag that you don't crimp the wires. So, 20mm rail, like I said, you can actually use a decent optic for this gun because of how long the barrel is. So, long barrel, and I just found out that there is a little screw right here where you can actually adjust the front sight for windage, which is different because most of the time it's the rear sight. But that's good. So again, markings, body, and it's the quality of the body is aluminum. But when you feel it, it doesn't feel all that great. But again, it's gonna hold up. So that's all I can really say about it. But on the other side, you have the charging handle, which is right here. Now, the charging handle on this doesn't sound very intimidating. It's different because it's not pushed forward by a spring. It's pulled forward. So the spring isn't very strong, so that's kind of a little disappointing. But, you know, it is what it is. Now, the carry handle, one of my favorite parts of this gun. It's steel, and it's made right. You can trust it. Most guns, you can't trust their carry handles. This one, you can. Has a lock-in position right here, here, and then you hear a... and it's locked in completely, won't move. So, it doesn't lock in right here or here, but you can have it like that. It's however you prefer it. Now, the barrel release button over here, which is right here, which releases the barrel and it comes out. Then you have the heat shield, which is removable, and I personally think it looks cool like this, or with it on. It's all personal preference. It latches on. Then you got your 20mm rails, which is good for mounting a foregrip on the side, which makes it so much easier to carry. Trust me, it does. It doesn't look, I know it looks kind of ghetto rigged, but it works. So then you have the fake adjustable gas knob for adjusting rate of fire, but it doesn't do anything for this front sight, and then your flash hider orange tip, which is just kind of glued on there. But this isn't your standard flash hider. It only takes M240s. So the bipod, one of my favorite parts of this gun. If you look, now it won't move any further. Now if I do this, now it won't move. I have a very wide, range for moving it, and it also goes up and down fairly easy. So to be honest, this is the best bipod I have ever gotten on a support gun. It is just fantastic. So I like it. Now moving on to the box mag. I'm just going to take it off and show you one of the reasons it is disappointing. Now keep in mind, this gun is $750. I'm not rich. This was a gift to me, and I don't want it to seem like I'm complaining about my gift. I am thoroughly happy with this gun. There are just things on it that I don't like. For instance, my box mag is made of construction paper. Holds 4,000 rounds, and it runs off the battery of the gun, which is a very big con in my opinion. I don't like my guns to run, especially the box mags, to run off the same battery that powers my gun, because it sucks more power and drains it quicker. So this is trigger activated, which I don't like, because normally my light machine guns, I like to have the pressure pre-built so I don't have to worry about it not being able to keep up. So I don't know how well this feeds at high rate of fire because I haven't upgraded it yet, but we'll see. If not, I'm going to make a custom made one and I will keep you posted on stuff like this. But if you're looking to buy a spare one of these, it's $388. That's ridiculous. I really don't know what to say about that. I don't see $380 here. So I'm not trying to bag and say this gun is bad. I don't want y'all to think that, because it's got its bonuses and it's got its, it's got its cons. But the gun overall weighs like 22 pounds fully loaded with battery and ammo. So it's not the same weight as a real 240, but it does the job. However, internally, I'm not sure if it's proprietary. I hope it's not. I'm praying it's not. But it is like a modified SAW gearbox. It is going to be like a workhorse because of that. So let's talk about the internals. Now for the internal reports. You have an 8mm gearbox with a half steel piston rack, which is weird because it's not a, from my knowledge, it's not a full torque up. But whatever, and you got I believe an aluminum piston head, a ginormous barrel. I have no idea how long it is. I don't know a lot about this internally. I haven't had time to open it up because I'm too scared. Because this gun is just so expensive. If anything breaks, it's expensive. But overall, you should be able to set this up properly. Now, another feature I forgot to mention is there is an ejection port, like on the real one. The bullets eject from the lower part right here. So that's really neat. I'm glad they put that in there. But that replacement part right there is like $300. But anyways, internals. Metal gears, metal rack piston, aluminum piston head, and you have a orange, I believe it's an orange Mad Bull bucking, which I have no idea what that type of bucking is. I'm hoping it's a hard bucking because the harder the bucking is, the longer it'll normally last. So, not the best for accuracy, but it'll last longer. But you have a long barrel. I'm talking long barrel. And it's a proprietary air nozzle and hop-up unit, which is not a big deal because it's a 240. So, again, Tamiya connectors, I would recommend Dean's, and then wirings like some nonsensical wiring. Any light machine gun rewire. This is a gun you buy and you dump a lot of money into. This is what I call a money pit. Reason being, it's expensive, and anything you do or want to do with it, it's gonna cost you a bunch of money. So, yeah. Anyways, now for my personal opinion. This is honestly the hardest gun I've had to review in a long time. One of the reasons being is it's such a cool gun, but there's so many issues that were made and that they could have done so much better on. Like, for one, the box mag. It's construction paper. I mean, I know I got this as a gift, and I'm not complaining. I don't want y'all to think that. I am completely grateful for this gun. And I don't want y'all, if I don't like it, just give it to me. No, this was given to me by a really good friend for my 21st birthday, and I really appreciate it. And this gun means so much to me because it was just a genuine gift from a good friend, and it's just one of these. It's as much as I hate to say this, this is a gun you hang on a wall, and it hurts so much to say that, because I love this gun so much, but I'm too scared to do anything with it. Even my friends, they're like, "Dude, that's such an awesome gun." Mikey's even scared to touch it because of how much parts are to replace. I mean, this right here is like $200. It's some plastic and like metal. Okay? Barrel assembly, I think, is like $200 to replace. Carry handle is like over $100. Top covers, $188. Stock, don't quote me on these prices. These are just something I've remembered. But I know for a fact the stock is $240. This is like $288. This little flap under here in like the lower part right here is $280 or something like that. The rail is like $100. The bipod is $100. The flash hider is like $60. The body itself, wait for this, guys, it's $488. I mean, Bill Gates would own this gun. This is like one of those guns. It's like, I won the $440 million lotto. But if you won that, you'd buy a real one. But this is a gun that if you're rich and fancy, and you have rich and fancy things, this is something for you. Do I recommend this to the support gunner people that are in the market for something like this? Unfortunately, I would say no. And it's such a disappointment for me to say that. And I love this gun. This gun is just the epitome of badass. But it's like driving your dream car. It's the coolest thing to do just to get to drive it one time. But then once you've done it, it's not, if you own it, it's just not the same. It's there every day. But it's a fantastic gun if you want to put it on a wall. And I'm going to try my best not to do that, because this is just such a good, it's such a beautiful, I just think it's beautiful. It's just one of those guns. It's like the M60. The reason I don't own an M60 is because you just have to replace everything. And this was a gift to me, and I want to make this gift count. So, would I recommend this to somebody? Unfortunately not. But my opinion on it is it's a really cool gun. It's honestly really cool. But it's not one of those guns you skirmish with. So let's move on to the final conclusion. It's 240. It's got the rail. It's got the big box mag. It's got the carry handle, the bipod. It's got the 240-ness that you want and desire. But it's a gun that you put on a wall, which is unfortunate. I mean, it's got the proper gearbox, it's got the proper barrel, and it's got the proper carry handle, but it's just so expensive. I mean, just to replace something, it's one of those, I'm just legitimately scared to use it. I mean, and you're going to have to do a bunch of work to it, and the price, it's going to cost you $750, and then you're going to have to spend I completely recommend that you rewire the gearbox. Get a MOSFET and rewire your box mag to a pressure sensor, because I don't like having them synced up to my trigger. But that's just me. Echo One picked a fantastic person to, I guess, rebrand it, but I just don't see it as a skirmishable gun. My stock came broken from air splat, and they basically gave me the finger. So, you know, it's awesome. It's an awesome gun, but unfortunately, I just don't recommend it. And my cameraman would say the same thing. Wouldn't you, Mikey?
Yep.
And I don't want y'all to think I am saying this is bad. This is not bad. It's just expensive. And not everyone can afford something like this. And I want to cherish this, and I will. So, guys, my final conclusion is it's cool, but put it on a wall. It really is a legitimately great gun, but I just would recommend putting it on a wall. So guys, I hope you enjoyed this review. Hopefully it wasn't too long, but I do have one last thing for you. I'm going to show you what it's like compared to a saw just for size. So here is the saw. Looks pretty small, but there is about that much longer, so that's a good 6 inches longer. And what's funny is if you've Mikey was at my house and he was picking this up and screwing around with it, and he picks up the saw and he's like, "Holy shit! This is an assault rifle! This is not heavy at all!" He was like, "Oh my gosh, I could just one-hand this all day long." It was just like, look, I'm one-handing this because I'm used to picking up this gun. You know, and it's like, oh my gosh, it's huge. It's big. But, you know, that's just a size comparison. I mean, this gun is massive. But let's not drag this review on any longer. I hope you enjoyed this. I know I really don't want y'all to think I'm complaining or saying this gun sucks. I mean, it's just a disappointment. But it's one of those things you're disappointedly in love with, if that makes any sense to you. But guys, life is good. I have a 240, and I have good friends. Thanks for watching.